Welcome back to the Kosi Ask the podcast. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is the latest Ask the news and transfer news as well. Arsenal have agreed a deal in principle with Bournemouth to sign goalkeeper Neto. The players agreed to join Arsenal as well. However, the deal will not happen until Arsenal are 100% sure they cannot get João Garcia. We're also going to be talking about internal talks between Arsenal hierarchy. We are trying to sign Raheem Sterling, but there are a few people inside the club that think Raheem Sterling's move to Arsenal is a bad one. So we're still assessing the situation, and we'll also talk about Arsenal waiting for opportunities in the last hours of the window. That actually sums up our summer, how unserious we have been, how unprepared we have been. I don't know. Edu said that he has 180 pages on players that we actually want to sign. I don't know which players were in that 180 pages, because this summer has been one of the worst, especially in terms of improving places and positions that we actually needed to. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This show is proudly sponsored by KiwiBet. KiwiBet is a new betting and gaming platform in Uganda, and the weekend is back, and we are introducing the turbo odds. The turbo odds only occur when you are betting on the Premier League. You get much better odds, bigger odds when you bet on the Premier League as compared to any other bookmakers in the land. So if you want to win some money, if you want to go for that Arsenal, both teams to score against Brighton, that is an easy one. If you want to go with the Manchester City win against West Ham away from home, that is another easy game. You've got to go to KiwiBet because they have crazy odds and they are not afraid of losing their money. So let's go into the transfers, because again, today is deadline day. Lots of things happening. I've just decided to... I think it's going to be a busy day. Honestly, I'm going to update you on each and everything that happens. Let's start off with that done deal between Arsenal and Bournemouth for the goalkeeper Neto. Now, Arsenal have agreed to take Neto on loan. They will cover his wages, but there is no option to buy. There is no obligation to buy as well. The reason as to why Arsenal have actually done this is very, very easy. They think that the João Garcia deal is actually stalling at the moment, and probably the best solution for us to do, the best thing for us to do, is to get a new goalkeeper, and then maybe we can sign João Garcia next summer. Now, my problem with this deal is that, Neto as a goalkeeper is not a bad goalkeeper. Like, he's 30, he comes in, Premier League proven. I think his reflexes are good. I think he's a good ball-playing goalkeeper. But, this is what I said yesterday, that João Garcia was not going to leave Espanyol just like that. Arsenal can still get the deal done, but Espanyol have told Arsenal on 2 occasions, we have made bids, and those bids have been rejected. And I remember saying yesterday, this is not a time where you go and do a difficult deal. This is not a time where you go and start bidding 10 million, yet the player has a release clause of 35 million. So Espanyol was saying, you've got to give us 35 million euros. That is the release clause of the player. If you're not doing that, then we are not going to sell. And I understand them, and I really, really I'm on their side. If you're Espanyol and you believe that your goalkeeper is going to stay, and in the last days of the window, a club comes in and they're not even meeting your expectation, of the value of the player, why would you sell? This is Arsenal, bringing doom to themselves, and I think they want us to look back and say, sorry, you didn't get your targets, you didn't get the players you wanted. Garcia is a deal that should have been done a little bit earlier on. Whether for 35 million euros, whether for less than that, it should have been done a little bit earlier on, right? The president at Real Sociedad said something very interesting when we were trying to sign Mika Moreno from there. And he said, I wish Arsenal either came earlier or they didn't come at all. It doesn't make sense for you to go and pluck an important player out of a squad in the last days of the window. How do you expect them to replace him? How do you expect them to adjust? How do you expect them to cope with the loss? All that. So João Garcia is stalling, and Arsenal have agreed a deal with Neto at Bournemouth. He will be coming in as a second choice goalkeeper should Arsenal concretely believe that João Garcia is undoable this summer. Now, the players already agreed to join Arsenal. Personal terms are in place. Bournemouth, as far as I understand, I think they've signed a new goalkeeper, haven't they? They've signed Kepa. Yeah, they've signed Kepa. So Kepa Arrizabalaga is going to be their first choice goalkeeper, and Neto will be moving on to Arsenal if nothing changes. So I don't have a problem with this deal. Of course, it's a short-term deal, no obligation to buy, no option to buy as well. It only shows you that Arsenal are planning to go and spend again, on a new goalkeeper next summer. It is one of the things I hate about this team. We buy a goalkeeper every single summer. Ever since actually we brought in Leno, Arsenal have been in the market for a goalkeeper almost each and every year. Leno came in, then Ramsdale came in, then Raya came in. At some point in time, we signed Alexander Runarsson. Then we signed Matana at some point in time. And now, Neto is going to come in. And then we are also going to let him go next summer because he's not the guy we need or the guy we want. And then we shall go and sign Jean Garcia next summer. So it is a disorganized that. That is how disorganized we are this summer. Bear with me. I'm not the guy that's working on the transfers. I'm the guy that lets you know what is happening every single minute. Now, Arsenal are having internal talks about the Raheem Sterling situation. Why? Because according to Sky Sports this morning, Arsenal have been presented with the offer to sign Raheem Sterling from Chelsea once again. However, it is a little bit different from yesterday. Yesterday, Chelsea gave us a chance to sign Raheem Sterling on a permanent deal. Today, Chelsea are giving us a chance to sign Raheem Sterling on an initial loan deal, without an obligation to buy and without an option to buy as well. So that could be, a very good option. Chelsea are very secure on this one. They're saying, if we have 3 years on your contract, we can send you out on loan at the moment. You don't want to be here. We don't want you to be here. The manager doesn't believe in you. You can go to Arsenal. They can cover part of your wages, or they can cover actually your wages, and then we can see what happens next summer. Now, again, for me, this one is a bit like the Joan Garcia situation. Arsenal wanted a winger, and that was Nico Williams. And I think with Nico Williams, you don't blame Edu, you don't blame Mikel Arteta a lot. They tried their best. They tried to sign him before the Euros. They tried to sign him after the Euros, but the player's focus was I think undecided, I would say. And why I would say undecided is, I think he wants, there's no doubt he wants to play, for a bigger club, but I think that club is Barca. And because he was disappointed that he didn't go to Barcelona, he decided that he was going to sort out his future next summer. And he's got that release clause. He's going to be active this summer, active next summer as well. So we wait to see what happens out of there. So because Arsenal cannot get Nico Williams, because Arsenal cannot get all these Simeon Adingras of this world, and Gordon, and of course we cannot get them because we have woken up late in the transfer window, not because of any other reason. If Arsenal had gone in for Simeon Adingra 3 weeks ago, I think we can do that deal. I think that deal would have been done. Why? Because Brighton have literally just gone on a signing run. I don't think they're using the scattergun approach. I think Brighton, you look at their signings and they make a lot of sense in terms of short-term and long-term, present and future. I think Matt O'Reilly is a very good player. I think Ruta is a good player as well. I think Max Vaifa is a quality player in that midfield. So they're not doing the scattergun approach. They actually have a plan, and they're now executing that plan by signing so many players. I think they could be the biggest spenders in the Premier League this summer. I'll cross-check. But Arsenal now cannot get those targets. Therefore, you have to get in a short-term fix, and then you can work on the permanent fix next summer. I'm going to tell you this. Next summer, we are going to be talking about the same players and the same positions. We're going to be talking about Arsenal wanting to sign a left winger. We're going to be talking about Arsenal wanting to sign 1 or 2 midfielders. And we're going to be talking about Arsenal wanting to sign a striker. It's not going to change. So, Raheem Sterling is our Neto of the forward line. You can't afford, if you're Arsenal, you can't afford to miss out on Kingsley Coman and Raheem Sterling. That forward line, especially in terms of depth, it stinks. And even when the 3 start, I think our best 3 is Trossard, Kai Havertz, and Saka. I think that's our best 3. To come from the bench, it's Gabriel Jesus and maybe Martinelli. There is no quality there. I don't think Madrid are afraid of that. I don't think Man City is afraid of that. I don't think if I was a manager at Atalanta, if I was a manager at Girona, I'd be afraid of that. I think it's a quality forward line, but when we compare it to Haaland, Savinho, and Doku, bro, that is levels now. If we compare that to Pedro Neto, Joao Felix, and Osimhen, if Osimhen ends up at Chelsea, bro, that is levels now. So for me, I think Arsenal need a quality player on that forward line. Internal discussions are taking place on whether to agree or not, because Chelsea have offered us Raheem Sterling. And again, I'm asking myself, haven't we talked enough? Haven't these guys had enough boardroom fights and boardroom discussions, enjoying the SC in the boardroom, enjoying the little snacks that come alongside every single meeting? Aren't they really satisfied of those small things? We need to start doing some action. We have had internal talks about a striker for a whole summer until we signed none. We have had internal talks about a number 6 for a whole summer until we signed none. And we have had internal talks about a winger until we're about to sign none and the window closes. So can we stop having internal talks? Can we go and do some deals? It's not bad to deliberate on deals, but it is time now for action. You cannot be planning right now. The Athletic have said that Arsenal are still waiting for opportunities to arise for a third-choice goalkeeper and a winger. For Christ's sake, I'm sorry, you don't wait for opportunities on deadline day. You don't fatten the bull on market day. You don't do that, because it's a strategy that works only 1 out of a million times. No. There are few clubs that want to sell to evade FFP and PSR. I understand that. But if you're Arsenal, and in the last 4 years, your strategy has been, we are going to list a couple of players we want across a couple of positions, and all clubs in the market know Arsenal are very organized. When they say they want Declan Rice as a new central midfielder stroke defensive midfielder, that is who they want. How have we gone from clarity on Gabriel Jesus since January until when he signed in June, clarity on Declan Rice, clarity on players like Odegaard, to being offered Raheem Sterling, and we are discussing whether we like it or not? If it wasn't for Nico Williams, who are the other wingers that we actually wanted? And what is the justification that we didn't get any? I've seen that Reece Nelson's move really determines whether we sign a new winger. Reece Nelson holds the keys to Arsenal adding a new attacker to the team. Reece Nelson. I want to understand, how important is Reece Nelson for us to say, by the way, to add one more attacker to the team, dear Reece, important Reece, has got to go? Like, how? Because I don't see how Reece Nelson, honestly, I don't see how Reece Nelson affects us, whether he stays or goes. I don't see how. And secondly, Reece Nelson being at Arsenal or not, it doesn't limit Arsenal from having clear opportunities. It doesn't limit us from having clear plans. I don't think Arsenal really had a plan. Calafiori apparently was not on the list. Mikel Merino, I don't know whether he was on the list or he wasn't. God saved us that we got that deal done. And then with the goalkeepers, did we even have a guy on the list? Or we saw Joan Garcia somehow and we grabbed... I don't know. I'm not sure. I am really not sure. But Arsenal are still searching and waiting for market opportunities with 10 hours to the end of the window. Embarrassing. As simple as that. It has been embarrassing. It has been bad. And then even if we get the opportunity, Reece Nelson in the final hours of the window will determine. We've sold Emil Smith Rowe. We've sold Aaron Ramsdale. We've sold Eddie Nketiah. We've sold Nuno Tavares. We've sold Albert Sambelokonga. We can afford to have one player come in and raise the level. We were told earlier in the window that Arsenal are looking for level raisers. I'm going to say this openly. Arsenal have not signed a level raiser this summer. No. Calafiori is not better than Timber. No, he's not. Mikel Merino is not better than Declan Rice. No, he's not. Yes, we've added quality, depth, right? I understand. I've already said depth. I've already said, numbers. I've already said cushion. But a level raiser, the way Declan Rice was the summer before this one, a level raiser before, like Julian Timber was the summer before this one, a level raiser like Raya last summer, a level raiser like Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko were, a level raiser like I think those are the level raisers we've even signed. I don't think this summer we have had a level raiser. Like, I don't think if I was Man City, I'm not like, whoa, Arsenal have really added a lot. We've got to be concerned. Not really. Head over to KiwiBet, place your bets, because I'm going to be releasing my predictions for the weekend. If you bet on the Premier League and you've just registered, you're going to get 1,000 free points. And those 1,000 free points equal to 1,000 Ugandan shillings. I'm going to release my odd 100 today, and on 1,000 we could win $1 million. So how about you hit the like button, you subscribe, you follow KiwiBet on their socials, and I'll speak to you right in the next one. Thank you.